Hello, entrepreneurs, dreamers, business owners, and happy people with high hopes. Welcome to Cashflows with your host, Cash Matthews.
Good morning. We're glad you're here today. I'm Cash Matthews, your host. Our show today is called Cashflows, and we have a great guest for you today, and we'll get to him in just a minute, but hoping everybody out there in the world is doing wonderfully. You know, our show is about entrepreneurship and faith and family and all of those things that we all strive for to have that magical life. And I think life is magical, Kenneth. Even when we face troubles and trials, I think it's still very beautiful. And with that, let me just say hi to my cohort here, Mr. Kenneth Bockham. Kenneth?
For sure.
What's been going on with you?
Oh, man, just dealing with those. We talked a little bit about the Oklahoma winds, I think, last time we were here. Allergies coming in and out. So I'm a little bit hoarse today. I'm a small horse. But
well, yeah, it doesn't the song go like the waving wheat sure smells sweet until your eyes swell up?
I think so, yes.
I think they left that verse out.
Yeah, that's right.
In the song Oklahoma. But anyway, well, very cool. I hope you're on the mend and life is good. But,
thank you.
You know, this show is about taking action, and it's about doing things that benefit your life and moving forward. We have a philosophy that is fire, aim, ready. And I have found in my life that too many people are just kind of like ready, aim, and they never really pull the trigger on the things that they really want.
It's scary.
And we, you know, the magic in your life occurs when you begin to do those things you don't really want to do. That's where the magic lies, is behind your procrastination or behind your lack of knowledge or attention. So here at Cashflows, we want to encourage you to take action, not perfect action, just, I don't know, pretty boring. Action can be kind of boring. I think life's a little bit better just doing a whole lot of small things.
Yeah, imperfect action.
Imperfect action. Well, I am very capable.
Do something.
Yeah. Or don't just. My dad had some phrase about that. Don't just. I don't know what it was. Don't just stand there, do something, or don't just do something, stand there.
Oh, right.
That might be the better one. So you ready to get on with episode number? What number is this? 112, 113?
I forget.
We're well over 100.
We're well over 100.
We're somewhere there. Anyway, so welcome to Cashflows. Our guest today is Joshua. I'm going to make sure I say it right. Sabharwall.
Close.
Say it again for
Sabharwall.
us. Sabharwall. Okay, I'm going to make sure we do that correctly.
The way that you said it is probably the most common pronunciation of it. Yeah.
So we've already butchered the guest name. Well, so I would think we're off to a pretty normal start. Anyway, we're here with Joshua Sabharwall. And you can find him on the web at patriotdreamproject.com. Today we're going to talk about faith and family and fitness and finances and firearms and freedom.
Yeah.
We're going to go through some things, and we're very glad to have you here today, Josh.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, so we want to just jump in and find out a little bit about you. So we met you through the Tulsa Business Owners Networking Group. Is that our connection?
Yes. I unfortunately haven't been able to get to an event yet. I've been wanting to. I think what I struggled with most was I didn't feel qualified to come to anything.
Oh.
And so now it is my goal to at least come to one thing a month. And
good for you.
But it's an awesome group. I've learned so many things just from people's posts and seeing what everybody does. And it's just a really neat tool to have.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool, and we get to meet people like you. But let me assure you, you are qualified. You know, basically, if you can drink coffee with any consistency, you're going to fit right into the group.
I think I can do that.
Well, so let's hear a little bit then about your story, and how did you arrive here, and if you want to go back a little ways and tell us, because I think our listeners and viewers like to connect with people on a real basis, like you just said a minute ago, imperfect action.
Yep.
And I think that is one of the best pieces of advice is to just take action, imperfect or not. So give us your story, bring us up to where you are now.
Yeah. So I was originally born in Kansas, around the Kansas City area. I grew up there for about the first 14 years of life. I'm 24 now. Last week was actually my birthday. But we grew up there. So I don't have this big crazy story, and that's kind of the point I wanted to make with this is nothing. I grew up in a normal family, normal home, had my fair share of adversity, but it's nothing crazy. It's not like I went down in this deep, dark hole and had to figure out how to dig myself out of it. But that's the thing, though, with people's stories is that you get so caught up on wanting to have this story, they don't take the action. They don't actually fire, like you said, fire, aim, ready. They wait, they aim, they aim, they aim. And that's the big thing. But I grew up in Kansas. Believe it or not, I wasn't in the farm world. I was a city boy because I grew up in Kansas City. We moved down to Oklahoma because my parents were originally from Oklahoma. And it was my grandmother. She was diagnosed with cancer. And so we moved down here. And it's probably the best thing that ever happened was moving back here.
Wow.
Because I originally went to pharmacy school. And I was going to be a pharmacist, was dead set on being a pharmacist and having my own pharmacy. And then wonderful events of 2020 happened.
Right.
And there were just some things going on, things that were being told that I had to do that I really didn't feel comfortable with. And so as hard as it was, I had only about 2 years left to complete my degree. And I wasn't comfortable with it. And so I decided to make a life change. And so that life change went to business. I was going to get a business degree, all that. And I just had a realization while I was in some classes that it wasn't really for me because there were things that these professors were teaching us that they had never actually practiced before.
Okay.
And it was just so mind-blowing to me because they were talking about when we would do certain equations or stuff, they would say to leave out taxes or leave out inflation, all this other stuff, and it just didn't make any sense to me.
Got it.
And so it was really just that drive that was like, you know what? I want to go out, do my own thing, and have an impact on the world. And so that's kind of what got me here today. I've had my fair share of entrepreneur failures.
Good. Okay. Now we're cooking.
Yeah. I did everything. I fell for all the, I guess you'd call it get-rich-quick schemes.
Oh, right.
The day trading, I tried an SMMA, so much stuff. Airbnb was the one that I had a little bit of success with. But the thing is, there was no fulfillment in it.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I set it up, had a place for people to stay. That was it, really. And I came to the realization that if you truly want to have success in life, success comes from fulfillment. And that's what I've transitioned to with the American Dream Project.
When we visited, you said focus on fulfillment rather than just the financial side.
Yeah. That's something I feel like a lot of people miss. They focus too much on the money part first.
Right.
And it's easy to do. But what they don't realize is if you focus on helping people, then the money will take care of itself.
Everything sort of follows. So what was your first? Did you ever have a endeavor when you were younger? Kool-Aid stand, mowing yards. Did you have an entrepreneurial spirit earlier?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think we did some lemonade stands, but the thing that I loved, my mom doesn't know it, but I loved when she would do garage sales.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like having a little business there for a day or two. And that was probably it for me.
That's sort of how I got my start. My mom, she was a single mom, and we went to garage sales, and I loved that. Like, it really got me started. I'm 62 now. I still go.
Yeah.
I can't pass up a good deal.
Hey.
I've got full storage units of stuff I meant to sell but never did.
Yeah, you're like, I might need that one day. So just, yeah.
Yeah, that part of my life kind of came and went. Well, fulfillment is a word we don't hear very often in the business world, particularly.
On today's world in general.
Yeah, in general, because we are just assuming that if you have enough money, then you're fulfilled. And I think you would take exception to that.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I've never had a large amount of money in my bank account, but from watching other people that have had success and seeing these multi-millionaires say it's not the money, it's seeing the change in people's lives, the impact you're able to have. And yeah, that's what really, I'm glad I've learned it at this stage in life because it's going to help propel me forward quicker, and I have a lot more time to be able to do it.
I think a lot of people find that in about their fifth effort.
Yeah.
In their 40s, maybe they find out, hey, I don't want to just make money. I want to make an impact. In the Cash and Kenneth world, we call that leave a footprint instead of a butt print.
Yeah.
Good for you on that. So tell us a little bit about Patriot Dream Project, patriotdreamproject.com.
Yep.
If people want to find you, tell us a little bit about that business.
So the Patriot Dream Project is the website. The actual business name is American Dream Project.
Okay.
The question I get a lot is why the project at the end of it? Mm-hmm. And that's because I feel like the American dream, it's always a project, but if anything more right now, it is a project right now.
Right.
Because the view of it has become so skewed and people have gotten just discombobulated over what it actually is.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because of the hard times right now in the communities and in the economy, but people are stuck in this cycle of just going through the motions day in, day out, and letting life pass them by. So I started the American Dream Project based on faith, family, fitness, finance, firearms, and freedom, they all embody freedom, and I feel like those are the elements that you need to establish the American dream in your life.
Right. So do you call it the 6 Fs?
Yeah, I called it F6.
F6, okay.
Because we're in Tornado Alley, so I was like,
right.
Well, it's the biggest tornado
we
can have. We never had an F6.
Is that an F6? I mean, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
Cool. 6 Fs. That sort of looks like my report card in high school. So I thought you did it to make fun of me.
Wow.
So let's go in. The American Dream Project is the name of your company.
Yep.
And the Patriot Dream Project is where they can find you online. And also we can find you on Facebook and Instagram and MySpace and any of these other.
I don't know about MySpace.
Oh, we're Kenneth and I are superstars on it. All 6 members of MySpace.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
Well, very cool. So tell us how your business works and what it does, and how can somebody engage with you so that you both get something out of it?
Yeah, so I originally started with just a podcast like this.
Right.
When I decided I wanted to help people, I was like, the best way that I can do that is, even though I'm not old and have a lot of experience right now, I still have experiences that I can share with people, and lessons that I can share with people. So that's how I started it. I've had my podcast for about roughly a year or so.
Oh, great.
And I really use that to just kind of the things that I've gained, books, different tools, whether it be exercise equipment, supplements, financial books, all of that, devotionals. I've taken those, and what I've started doing is our product at Patriot Dream Project is a box. I wanted to do a subscription box, but then I looked back at some subscription boxes that I had, and I took the negatives from it and was like, you don't always know what you're getting in a subscription box. And then you forget to cancel it when you don't want it. And so it keeps coming out of your bank account. So I didn't want to do that to people because I want to have this business be completely transparent. I want you to know what you're getting. That way, when you buy it, you know exactly what you're getting.
Right. Good idea.
And I didn't want it to be a burden either to people, be like, oh, I've got this coming out monthly and forget about it.
Like the gym membership that people aren't using. Yeah.
But so, I'm figuring out the concept of how exactly I want to do it because the first month, this is only our second month doing it. The first month was just one box with 6 items embodying each of those 6 elements.
Right.
This month, because I took some feedback from it, I did 6 boxes with a couple items for each of those elements.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So
it's an actual physical box that people can order.
Yeah.
But they're not ordering it every month.
No, you have the choice. It'll be different items every month.
Okay.
And you have the option whether you like it or you don't. And you can either buy it or not.
Got it. Okay, so now I know you're a big fan of Andrew Frisella.
Yep.
And we'd like to get him on the podcast if we can. I don't know if you know him, but we'd love to have him.
I wish I did.
We would waive the fee for him to come on. That would be nice. But you're in the middle of doing his program called 75 Hard.
I am.
And I know we're going to talk a little more about fitness later, but what has your experience been with 75 Hard and Andy and his certain type of coaching that everybody, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but most people really are enamored by? I think he's a great coach.
Yeah, so to give you a little bit of background first, I came from a background of, I played sports all my life. Trained hard. I was actually planning on going to play college basketball and just didn't end up doing it. because of the whole pharmacy thing. It wasn't going to be worth my time at that point. I get to college, and throughout high school, I always struggled to put on muscle. And so my last year of high school, I learned dirty bulking. And so I was able to, which is just eating basically whatever you want, as much as you want.
I think we did some dirty bulking this morning at breakfast. Okay.
Seems like it.
We have a new phrase. All right, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But I learned that like my senior year of high school. And I finally put on muscle. But the bad thing is I stopped exercising as much and almost in general once I got to college. And so I put on, it was probably close to about 100 pounds of not all muscle.
Right.
And so once I finally got through all of my college experiences and stuff and got here, I was like, I can't do this. I can't have fitness be one of my 6 elements and not be fit.
Right.
So I stumbled across Andy Frisella and the 75 Hard program because he says it all the time. It's not a fitness program. It's a mental toughness program.
Right.
And it's a discipline program. And that is one thing that you have to have if you're going to lose weight, put on muscle, anything. If you're going to grow your finances, grow a business, you have to have discipline.
Absolutely. Well, tell our listeners that don't know what 75 Hard is. Tell them about the program real quick that you're doing.
75 Hard is just the first element of basically a life program. The first 75 days, you do 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each. One has to be outside, no matter what the weather is.
Right.
And which Oklahoma, you don't know what it's going to be every day. But so you got that. You follow a diet. You do no alcohol or anything, drink no alcohol, which isn't a problem for me because luckily I've never drank in my life. So
okay, that's easy.
You got that. You got to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, which is just going to help you grow mentally in whatever area that you want. And so you take those and you do those for 75 days straight. You mess up just the slightest, you have to start over. Yep.
Yeah.
And I've started over a good amount of times.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So which for you has been the hardest element of 75 Hard?
It's probably been the diet, honestly, because where my mind transitioned from that dirty bulk to that, I'll be honest, I became addicted to food, basically.
Right. Well, food is good. Food's
it's
pleasurable.
good. Well, and it releases that dopamine when you are having a bad day or having a good day. And so, yeah, I'd say the diet's probably been the hardest part for me. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's just the first part of what they call the Live Hard program.
Right.
And then you've got the 3 phases after that, which I am not to yet, but they add on things to the 75 Hard.
Yeah, they lost me at cold shower.
It's actually not that bad.
I know. I've had a lot of people say that to me, and I'm like, well, I've made it this far without doing it. I may ride the storm out with it. But so how far along are you on this session?
So this session, I am about, today is day 23 for me.
Are you feeling good about it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing that I hate is that I've messed up so many times.
Right.
Because I'll get far and be like, oh, I feel great. And then I mess up and have to start over.
Right. And the cool thing about it, it's your own ethic that causes you to start over.
Yep. Well, and it's just being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of people in today's world is being honest with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And so it really helps you develop that.
So talk about the mission, then, the mission and value statement of American Dream Project, and tell us how you came up with it as well.
Yeah, so I came up with it because you've got faith. I grew up in a Christian home throughout my whole life. Faith has been a huge part, and it's kind of a disadvantage, I want to say, growing up in a Christian home because you almost become numb to it a little bit. You go through these cycles of ups and downs, and I feel like for me personally, that was something that I had to rekindle and really get that fire going again. And I feel like that's something that's lost in today's world because whether it's social media, news, whatever, it's just so degrading. People think everything is so bad in the world. And if we don't have faith in God, in whatever, you're going to have a hard time getting through life.
Right.
So we got faith. Families have been split apart through so many things between social media, between just TV and everything.
Yeah,
so
a lot of distractions for the family.
Yep. So family was a big part because you've got dads not in homes, you've got moms not in homes, parents that are there but they're not present in their kids' lives.
Right. Because they're looking at social media too.
Yeah. Or they're just not there. They're playing games on their phones or whatever. And so I wanted to really bring back the family because the whole reason for those 6 elements, won't go too deep into all the other ones, but it's because I feel like this country has gone downhill for a while. And if we're going to get it back to its former glory and then make it better, it's going to start with what Andy Frisella calls personal excellence. And so through personal excellence is how we're going to make the country the best it's ever been.
Okay. Well, I like that. In fact, I'm one of those guys. I feel like entrepreneurship, this self idea that we can all fend for ourselves in one way or the other by delivering in a way that's beneficial to everybody. I think entrepreneurship is the single greatest key. And I'm not one that's going to say make the country great again. I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
And there's so much chatter, going on about this or that. I think the country's great. If you travel the world and go to places like India or Haiti where there are different struggles than you and I face.
Oh, yeah.
Here, I think what's great about you and all of us in our business is that if we choose to start over tomorrow, we just start over.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to get permission. We don't have to run it through the government, although the government might be a little overzealous. But I don't know. I think the United States is great.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason everybody wants to be here.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to come off like I'm dogging on the U.S. because it's still by far the greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade where I'm at in the world for anything. So it's just I have a desire to want to see people be the best they can be, and that'll in turn make our country the best it can be. So.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick studio break, and we're going to talk to one of our sponsors here that keeps this show alive. Mr. Kenneth, who do we have today?
This episode is sponsored by Kenneth Baucom Photography. Hi, my name is Kenneth Baucom, and I'm here to help you bring your awesome ideas to life. I specialize in helping businesses explode their online presence through professional photography, video, and virtual event production with a rapid turnaround. It's commercial photo and video services with a personal touch. Learn more at kennethbaucom.com.
I think the best ad for Kenneth Baucom Photography is this podcast. That's going out to lots of people around the world and on the YouTube. And, we had 18,000 downloads last month.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing is out there, dude.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun helping put it together and making it all work.
Yeah, and it's working. I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
No, I want to give you guys mad props. The amount of episodes you guys have put out and then the amount of downloads you've gotten is just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's been...
Thank you. Yeah.
It was just an idea. We're on a cruise ship together, like, hey, what would this look like? And I don't know. Let's try it. And we went to, number 61 in the world, rated by Apple?
Yeah, number 61 in entrepreneurship.
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's better than number 62.
Well, that's true.
Faux show. Yeah. All right, we're here today with Joshua Sabharwall.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to take me a bit, but we'll be best friends in a little while. And Joshua is the founder of the American Dream Project. You can find them online at patriotdreamproject.com. You can find Josh on Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, and I don't know where.
And AOL Instant Messenger.
And AOL Instant Messenger in the Monster Truck chat room.
That's right.
Where we
That's right.
The real question is, though, do you still call it X, or do you call it X, or do you still call it Twitter?
I forgot that it even existed. Do you twit?
I do not tweet often.
Yeah, I'm a low tweeter.
I'm trying to figure out, do we still call it tweeting, even though the platform is now called X? Or?
I know. What else would you call it, though? Do you call it Xing?
Xing.
And I guess what I'm confused about is I never did well with algebra. So is X just a variable? What are we?
Is it a multiplier?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
That was one rebrand that I was kind of like, that's kind of something you don't touch. And
yeah, I don't know.
But anyway.
I never did the Twitter thing. I guess I missed out on all that. For all my Twitter fan out there,
Yeah, that's good.
Probably my wife. So, so we're talking with Joshua today about the mission of his business, and we're getting some clarity in what it is he wants to accomplish. Anything else to add about your mission statement?
Really, I mean, the firearms is a fun part for me,
right?
Just because I love guns, love building them, working on them. My great grandpa was actually a gunsmith, and
so that's in your blood.
that's kind of where that came in from. Because originally, I just wanted to kind of start a gun shop or kind of learn the gunsmithing techniques and do all that. But I saw a greater need of wanting to help people, and so this is how I can kind of incorporate that little passion project of mine into this.
So you don't have a gun shop, though?
No, not yet.
Great idea. I would love to have a gun shop, and when you get rid of an employee, guess what you say? You're fired. No, nothing. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We had to bring out some dad jokes today. So you're just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
This is always a fun time. I remember when my business started, and I had some, elder people, like 31 years old, say stuff like, thank you. Like, where do you see your business in 5 years or 10 years? And as a young man, I didn't have a vision for that. I was like, I don't know. I've never thought about 10 years from now. So let's turn the tables. Where do you see your business in 10 years, Josh?
Yeah, so I was just like you originally. I was just so focused on now and not 10 years down the road or anything. But the coolest thing that Andy Frisell probably talks about, and it kind of goes unnoticed, is visualization, having the ability to visualize things.
Right.
And usually when you are able to visualize things over and over again, they actually happen.
Right.
And so I went a little ambitious with my goals, with my vision for 10 years.
Okay.
And basically what I want this to turn into is, you got to kind of track with me here. So you've got a storefront that has a farmer's market with fresh food, fresh goods from local farmers in the area. And past that, you've got an area with brands like Andy Frisell's First Form. You've got brands like Fuel Hunt. These American-made entrepreneurs, American-made brands, bring those together and have like a general store, basically, where you can come in. And it's basically the Patriots' dream of Target and Walmart. Have that with a gun shop, with a gym, that sort of thing, and eventually a gun range in the back.
So that becomes a lifestyle type company rather than just a retailer.
Yeah, I want it where people can come in and just hang out, not knowing each other. You get to hang out, work out together. You get to shop together. You get to go to the gun range, go to the gun shop together.
Okay, are you going to have a coffee shop in there somewhere where we can all hang out?
So
Kenneth and I have a problem, so we
it's true.
We need a buy-in for coffee shop.
That's right.
Yeah.
So and a podcast room.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Hey, that could actually be a thing.
No, I would definitely do it because of my own podcast. I would put it.
There's a store that opened up, Oki Family Market, over in Broken Arrow.
I've seen that.
And they are friends of ours, and we did a grand opening with them. And they are not far. You need to go meet Eric and Stephanie over there, who've created this thing, and it's doing very, very well. So it's good for you because we can see that rise up and know there's real demand there.
Yeah. No, I think
good for you. That's smart.
I think the American people are hungry to get back to their true patriot roots, and they're hungry to go back to traditional roots.
Right.
So that's what I want this business to embody. Yeah, it may not happen for 5, 10, even 20 years, but this is what I've settled on. This is my life's purpose. This is my life's mission. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make it happen.
That's beautiful. So, you actually bring up a great point, Josh. In around the 1900s, the early 1900s, nobody really had jobs. They were farming and ranching and metalsmiths and, did whatever. But about 90% of the people were what we would call self-employed, and 10% had jobs. I can only imagine that way back in the day, like if you had a job, how people may have viewed you like, what's wrong with you, dude? But I think once you've been self-employed and can fend for yourself, there's almost no way you could ever go back.
Yeah. I'm not to that point yet, unfortunately. I'm still doing I guess you'd call it entrepreneur, so I'm still working a normal job while doing this stuff.
Well, that's all right. You have to view, when you're working a normal job, working on your dream, you have to view that job as your angel investor.
Oh, yeah.
That's my investor right there, and they're going to pay me X. I got to do a good job for them.
Yep.
Because even if you had an investor, you have to do a good job for them.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time, effort, and money. So you do that in the early days, and there's no shame in that at all. In fact, it's really smart as a way to get started, but it's because you have something on your radar, you have a destination in mind.
Yep, you're future focused in the present.
Right.
So,
well, good for you. So, if there is such a thing, is there a formula for success you buy into?
The way that I've started to look at it is figuring out what it takes to get the job done, figuring that out, and then doing it for the amount of time required.
Right.
But the thing is, what people don't understand is you don't know the amount of time required.
True.
It could be 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but you have to have the will to do those things for however much time it takes.
Right.
And so that's kind of the successful formula for me.
Okay. Well, so maybe then success is a form of reverse engineering.
Yeah.
We live in a world where I want to lose 3 pounds. Well, that's going to take me to walk, 20 miles over a month. And you just go, okay, well, then I just put in the steps.
Yep.
Is that what you're proposing, that we're sort of reverse engineering what success looks like?
You take your goal, and then you figure out, okay, this is what I need to do to get the goal. And then you just break it down day by day, task by task, what you need to do, and just have the discipline and the will to do those tasks. Even though you're not seeing instant results, you got to have that delayed gratification at the end.
Yeah, it's sort of like the first day you do 75 hard. Like, I'm all in.
Yeah, you feel great, and then day 20, day 30, you're like, oh, it's still so far away.
I just want to eat chicken fried cupcakes.
Yeah.
And
I think your body likes to play tricks on you too, because you'll see a little bit of weight come off, and then you go into what I think they call it a stalling period.
Right.
Where you go 1 to 2 weeks where you don't lose any weight, and you might even put a pound or 2 back on.
Right.
So it's definitely a mental game.
Well, very cool. So you have a saying, and I want to read this back to you, make sure I have it right. Success takes work. Work takes time, and time is limited. Why did you make that your catchphrase? Because, that's wonderful. It's complicated, but it's absolutely correct. Talk to us about your catchphrase.
It's kind of like your fire, aim, ready.
Okay.
Success is going to take work. You can't have success doing nothing.
Right.
You have to take action. But work is going to take time. And you can't expect things to happen now, because in today's world, we live in the Amazon Prime society where you can order something in the morning, have it at your doorstep in the evening.
Right.
That's not how success works. It takes time. But the thing is, we have a limited time here on Earth. So you have to have I've said Andy Frisell a lot, but he's had such a good influence on my life.
Well, sure. Yeah.
He calls it aggressive patience. You have to be patient, but you have to be aggressive the whole time. You have to be working towards
aggressive patience. I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you use that catchphrase in your advertising, or is that just a conversational piece?
That's just something I say at the end of my podcast episodes.
Got it.
Yeah, just a little reminder there.
So let's hear you say it rather than me say it.
Yeah, success takes work, work takes time, and time is limited. So we got to get out there and get to work.
Success does take work, man. There's no place you find success before work except the dictionary, I think, is the old meme.
Yeah.
I hope I caught that right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get my memes backwards and they don't go very well. So you're a man of faith.
I am.
You grew up in a Christian household.
Yep.
You've carried that on through your life. For you, how do faith and entrepreneurship work together? How do you make that work for you?
For me, entrepreneurship is faith. It's faith in the unseen. It's faith in yourself, faith in that you're going to be able to get stuff done. You're going to be able to achieve this stuff. Because for a lot of people, seeing is believing. But with faith and entrepreneurship, you are having faith in either what's been done in the past and what's happening now, or you have to believe in what's going to happen in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you a traditional goal setter? I'm going to write down 5 goals and a time frame and a method and go create activity.
I would say so.
One of the things I found, Josh, is that having a goal, I want to make $10,000. That's a good goal.
Yeah.
But for me, those are outcomes.
Yeah.
They're not really goals. And so as I matured, I had to really focus on what outcome would I like to have happen from this work. And I designed my workload around that objective. And so if it was, I want to make $10,000 in a month or 3, or when you're 20, $10,000 is like a year's worth.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, if I need 10 grand, I'm going to need to talk to 50 people. And out of those 50, some won't show and some won't become clients. But if I see 50 people, and then we turned those outcomes into what we called activity goals or activity objectives. And man, it made it a lot easier. And then I came up with a phrase about, getting paid on the nose. And, like when you're in the sales world, if you sell cars or houses, and you got to know that I need to sell 10 houses, well, that might mean you need to make 200 phone calls, show 75 houses, and we get all excited about the sale.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I made my 10 sales. But the reality is you get paid for every phone call. Maybe you take your 10 grand and you divide it by 100 phone calls and realize, wow, I just made $100 a phone call instead of $3,000 per house.
Yeah.
And that's how, I don't know, you said, your body plays tricks on you, but so does your mind when you're in entrepreneurship.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're always trying to figure out how to trick our mind.
Yeah, you have to have those little wins throughout the day, throughout your week, to trick your mind to say, I'm winning, even though I'm not seeing the actual result. I'm still winning by making these phone calls.
And winning's a destination. It's not an end point. It's just a portion along the way.
Yeah, but it's just a mark on the map.
Yeah, and it's really weird, and I bet you're going to see this pretty soon. I had a goal when I was 20, and I look back on it, I'm like, that was my goal?
Yeah.
What a terrible goal. But it was a goal, and it took me a while to hit it. It took me some years to hit it. And then when I hit it, I was like, well, that's disappointing. Why did I ask for only that?
Yeah.
When I could have asked for what was genuinely the goal of my heart.
Yeah.
And what do you think about goals then? Because some of these goals I see with people, they are really heartfelt. And then other people, it seems like they're making up a number. I want to make 100,000.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they'll make up that number just because that's what they feel like the world tells them that the number needs to be.
Right.
But what people actually end up doing is they actually end up setting themselves up, I don't want to say for failure, but they underestimate their abilities and what can be done, and they set their goals too small.
Right.
And so even if you set a huge goal, like say make $1 million in a year,
okay,
and you only end up making $250,000 to $500,000 of it, that's still a lot better than where you were at.
That's still amazing, yeah.
But if you'd only set your goal at $100,000, you probably would have only made $25,000 to $50,000.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we have to stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through the 6 F's here, and we'll get your business nugget here in a minute. But I want to repeat these because I think this is beautiful. We focus on fulfillment, not just the money side of life, but we focus in your program, your idea, faith, family, fitness, finance, firearms, and freedom. F6, like a big tornado. Yeah. Does any one of those that you favor more than the other, that you like to talk about more?
Oh, man. It's tough because those are all things that I've had to really seriously address in my own life, where I'm at and where I need to be. But ultimately, it boils down to faith. That's why it's the first one there.
Right.
Because for me personally, I would not be where I am today at all without God. I just wouldn't be. Throughout life, some things that have happened, if I had not redirected my course to my compass, which is God, I definitely would not be here. And so I would say faith is by far the most important.
Got it. I think a lot of us feel that same way, that God is our compass. I think that's a beautiful saying. Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We're here today with Joshua Sabharwall. Did I get it right the fourth time? Okay.
We're good.
Joshua Sabharwall. You can find him at thepatriotdreamproject.com. You can find Joshua on Facebook and Instagram. And, his objective is to help reclaim a better America.
Yeah.
And that's a great direction to go. At the end of our show, we always like to get a business nugget from our friends. And so, Joshua, let's talk about your golden business. Wait, do we want to name it? Do we have we actually have a name for these?
We can.
Let's see, what would we call it?
We might call it something like a
Biz Bites.
There we go.
Biz Bites.
Okay, well, we are wrapping up the show, so that was kind of nice. That was funnier to me, obviously, than it was to you.
We should bring the music back with it, I think, is what really helps sell it.
You think?
Yeah.
Make
Next
a
time.
Big grand entrance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get back to that. So tell us about your business nugget that our listeners could listen to and enjoy.
Yeah, so it's, of course, going to start with a quote from Andy Frisella where he talks about personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion to anything, whether it be the lack of discipline, lack of physical fitness, mental fitness. It is the ultimate rebellion to it. And if our country is ever going to get back to its former glory and then just continue to get better, it's going to be through personal excellence. It's going to take each and every person, every entrepreneur, mom, dad, father, husband, wife, each individual becoming the best version of themselves. And if we can do that, then we have a very good chance at growing this country to be the best it has ever been.
Amen.
And so, yeah, that is it for that.
So be excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the pursuit of excellence I think it's lost to the pursuit of right now, to the pursuit of make money at all costs, to the pursuit of keeping up with the Joneses. But I found out later in life the Joneses were broke.
Yeah.
And they weren't worth imitating. And, in my career, when you start to meet people of impact, you can't pick them up out of a lineup. They have beige lifestyles. They aren't flashing their bling around.
Yeah. I think it's Alex Hormozy. He talked about how after the Queen died, it was the Queen, and people forgot about her just a few weeks after she had passed away.
Oh, yeah.
So you think about somebody that has that big of an impact, they're easily forgotten. So,
yeah. I agree with that. All right, we're here with Joshua today, and you can find him at the patriotdreamproject.com. And we're talking about reclaiming the heart of our country. Personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion. Joshua got that from Andy Frisella, but we'll modify that and put some commas in it. It can be yours.
Yeah, we could figure it out.
All right, personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion. And we're here with Joshua Sabharwall today, patriotdreamproject.com. Kenneth, this has been a great show. I think this is the kind of stuff that this is going to be a good one to go listen to.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Very cool. Well, we're going to wrap this up today, and we are really glad you're here with us.
Yeah, I really appreciate
you
guys.
Look forward to making sure that our listeners out there in the country get to know you a little better.
I'm excited to get to know them and get to know you guys better, too.
Well, this is such a fun thing to do because this is also, a nice way for the world to get to know you and your business. And, it's going to be on the YouTube also. Have you heard of YouTube?
YouTube.
I have. It's a nice place.
It's a cool place. Yeah, it's going to be on there as well. So, all right, well, we're going to wrap it up. We're with Joshua Sabharwall today. The patriotdreamproject.com website, the American Dream Project, is the name of his company. Becoming excellent. Plato said excellence is rare. And today we focus on moving towards excellence step by step. And we're thankful for the time. As we wrap up our show today, and I wrap up every show the same way, today would be a great day to go out in this world and forgive somebody, because after all, haven't you been forgiven thousands of times? And forgiveness is not about that other person, friend. It's about you letting go, learning the lesson, and moving forward with whatever is next in your life that's great. If you've got an anchor tied to your belt, it is hard to run quickly. Often, forgiveness is the key to taking the next right step in your life. My name is Cash Matthews, and I believe we should fire, aim, ready. This is Cashflows, and we're glad you're here.
That's our show for today. Stay tuned for another riveting edition of Cashflows.